I mean, you bring up an interesting question, right? Which is intellectual leadership versus earthly power. Uh, and I agree with you that certainly in today's age, most power is concentrated among the super rich, right? But we've had universities and intellectual leaderships previously in times in which the same was true, right? That was also true in the Middle Ages. That would have been true for many areas of the world for a long, long time. And still, you had academies because those societies also needed the people who could think about reform, who could think about, okay, how we're going to do health differently. What do we think about the spirit realm, the religious realm? And you still had thinkers in that space as well. Certainly in the tradition of the West, those would not have been the super rich themselves. I know that within quite a few of the Indian regions, it was often people from the super rich who took on that sort of spiritual religious role, but that's not the Western background. So in the Western background, that would have been separate from. Now, of course, if you don't have earthly power, then you're not really on top. It is more that you are a little bit separate from, and you can be consulted, and you can try and convince people with arguments. And so that is more the Western tradition of academia, that we're almost looking at a separation of power there, right? Earthly power and intellectual power are separated. And whenever intellectual power really engages with earthly power, usually earthly power wins, right? It's the famous saying, when power meets science, power remains, and science just bends itself, right? It becomes a tool of those who are powerful.